Caitlin, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. I want to have a conversation with you today, but I'm going to start off with a quick personal story because I can kind of relate it, what we're going to talk about today, to something that happened with me. I remember I had an opportunity to sell one of my businesses, and I was like sort of in this crazy whirlwind of should I do it, shouldn't I do it? And I picked up the phone and I called here, and Sarah is my accountant, and she said, come in. And I came in, and I always remark that in that moment, she was not my accountant, she was my advisor and in some respects my therapist, right?
Yeah.
And I think that it's important to have that close relationship, that somebody that's involved in your financial life and in your business. Am I right on that?
No, you're absolutely right.
And so I think what I want to talk to you about today, I think it extends past the sort of business relationship, but it relates back to business. You're at times dealing with aspects of people's personal lives that impact their finances, right? Mm-hmm. And give me some examples. How does that take place?
I mean, we have clients that go through divorce cases, disability, sometimes just family issues, and they feel they have to take that step back from work, but we try to step in and really help take care of all that so that they can concentrate on their business.
What specifically would you do in that situation? Do you have an example of how that's come out?
I mean, I just went through a divorce case, very long divorce case, and the request list from the attorneys, forensic accountants, they were really long, and it would have taken my client a lot of time and money to do all this, and we ended up doing it all for him so that he could continue to run his medical practice. If he's not there, his business won't make money. So it was really important that we took care of it. But because we're so organized and we know the client so well, and he's been a client for like 10 years, we had everything that they needed. So it was not that hard of a job, but for him, he would have been spinning his wheels trying to get all that information. So,
but because you had clear optics into the business and into his financial life, it became easier for you.
Personal and business.
And what kind of things do they ask for?
Bank statements, financials, tax returns. I mean, some of our clients don't always save their tax returns, so we have years worth of tax returns, bank statements, loan statements.
So that's at your fingertips here.
Yeah.
As opposed to me where I'm shuffling papers and looking through a computer hard drive.
I mean, we tell our clients there's a retention period, please keep your records, but not everyone always does, or they don't know where they put it, Organization. We're very good at, so.
I would say in some respects you're too good, because I know at least personally for me, I'm like, oh, they got it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my mindset. I was, they have it, they have it.
Our clients really rely on us and trust us that we'll take care of it all.
Yeah, but in fact you are, in that respect, and you did in that case.
Absolutely.
So tell me about this disability aspect. I mean, divorce makes clear sense, right? There's obviously going to be a financial impact there. There's going to be something that happens where you're going to have to get this resolved. And I know on the legal end, there's all kinds of requests made for these things to value the worth of the marriage, what the financial situation is. But how does it relate to, or what comes into play with disability? Tell me about that.
So I have a client now that we're going through disability, and luckily we had set up plans when we first met him to set up a personal disability plan, an overhead policy, just to help him so that if the case he ever were to get hurt, which he did, that he'd be covered. So financially the business is still running, and he's okay. So we try to work with our clients on setting up disability plans, life insurance plans, whether it's estate planning, education planning, just to prepare them for the future, or if, God forbid, something were to happen. Right. I know personally I have plans because I don't want my husband to, hurt financially if I were to pass or get disabled. So. Right.
So it's fair to say that, I think when most people think about, I have to engage an accounting firm, or I have to, find a good accountant, they probably think more along the lines of, it's going to, I have to find somebody that's good at saving me money on my taxes.
Yeah.
But it's so much more than that, right?
We do everything. I mean, not just a tax return.
Right.
And our clients are so busy running their business, they don't even think about all this other stuff. So we're constantly there reminding them, hey, maybe you should do some retirement planning, or, a disability plan.
Right.
So it's really important that you have that right accountant who knows more than, or just honestly cares more than just doing your tax return.
Right. So you look at, when you take a client, or if you're existing clients, you look at what's the risk to them financially.
Yes.
And then you try to manage that risk. Yeah. And I think that's really important for most people to know, because especially when you're starting out, right? When you're first running a business?
Yes. A lot of our clients are entrepreneurs, and they start up a business and they're like, oh, I'm just going to do this or whatever. And they don't really think about all the other stuff. And that's where we come into play and remind them
right.
what they really need to do and concentrate on. So
yeah, and it's funny you say that, because when I got out of government, I started my first career in government. When I got out and started my first business, 3 months into it, I remember somebody asking me, so who do you use for insurance? And I went, for what? And it was those things that you don't think about.
Exactly.
So you would say that you aim to fill the gaps, right? You aim to take that off their plate.
Yeah, make sure they're compliant.
Right, and make sure everything's covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Caitlin, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.